my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remain blessed. Whenever you look my video, whenever you watch my video, share the video to all platforms. Share it to family and friends. Share it in your WhatsApp group so that people can get information on what is happening in the contraption called Nigeria, mainly against the Biafrans, against the Duduas, against the indigenous people in the contraption called Nigeria. I try as much as possible to set the record straight. I don't preach hate speech. I don't speak against people. I set the record straight. The only important thing I do here is to make sure that the plight of the people remains on the front burner and the world will know the true story of what is going on in the contraption called Nigeria.
As television, we can confirm to you that Governor Nyesom Wike of River State has declared his interest to run for president of Nigeria on the platform of the People's Democratic Party come 2023 presidential election. We give you details of that, and perhaps you see some of the images of his declaration in Benue State earlier today. Interestingly, Governor Wike is your very good friend. How does that come to you? Did he tell you he was going to run for president?
No, I don't have presidential discussions with him or issues of president. He's a different party, I'm a different party. But I'm sure hearing that from you for the first time, so I'm sure if he has declared, of course he's qualified to declare, he's a Nigerian, and he has all the qualification to do so. But as he's a different party, it's PDP and I'm APC. So I wouldn't have much to say about his declaration.
All right. I'll come to presidential ambitions and all of that in a moment. I want to draw your mind to what happened yesterday and how the conduct of the convention took place. What are your biggest fears in relation to the conduct and what may be a fallout, legally, politically speaking?
I think everything went smoothly. And what I saw yesterday was a dramatization of people's confidence and love and respect for President Muhammad Buhari. That I saw displayed yesterday. Most people came out to say, I'm not going to run again, I stepped down because of President Muhammad Buhari, not necessarily because of the person they're contesting with. So they didn't concede because they're weak, they conceded because of their love for the president. And I think those people are worthy to be commended for a job well done. Talking about fallout and legal issues, I think everything was rectified yesterday. I think we're fine. We're just right on what we've done. But the fallout will be the need to move quickly to reconcile many warring factions and let there be no victor and no vanquished in this whole exercise. Those who have won must try to reach out to those who did not win, knowing too well that there was no election casted for them. It was just a consensus, not because they are superior, but because the people deemed it fit. And the governors who have helped in doing this should also set up a committee quickly to go around and make sure everybody is carried along. I think that will help a whole lot. But all said and done, the greatest joy and the biggest news is that finally the APC have gotten their convention over with. And I commend the Mayor Malabuni for a great job and all the governors of APC for a great job done. And above all, the president for standing up at the right time to show leadership.
When you talk about those who have differences and those who are aggrieved, I didn't quite see a few of the leaders of the party in that place. And there were those who were speculating that there might be a walkout similar to what we saw at the National Convention of the PDP in 2014 because of similar thing and how people were aggrieved and they thought that they were not carried along. When the president met with the founding members of the APC in that meeting last week, what was it that he told you people?
Well, you know what? I think President Muhammad Buhari has this special gift of God to handle situations like this. He doesn't talk much. But the fact that he called all the founding members and recognized that, listen, this party wouldn't have been possible without you, and thanking us for our consistency in staying in the party despite the hots and despite the provocations in many places, that he commended us. That was like dropping an ice water on everybody's chest. And there was calmness. We all ate and hugged each other and we had a wonderful time. But it's not every leader that will say this and people will take it. So it's a gift to him. How he does it, I don't know. But we must say God
he has an aura that, even without speaking.
He has some, I tell you, he has some kind of aura even without speaking. It's a gift. Believe me, it's a gift. Because how would I, in my person, or Asurajo and the rest of this who founded the party, especially myself, and in Imo State, I founded the party, and again, I don't have a say in what happens to the party, a house I've built, and all of a sudden you feel you are kicked outside, and you don't give what is rightful to you, and all of a sudden somebody sits down and says, look, thank you for your patience and understanding. I do appreciate it. And you felt, oh, that was enough. It must be a gift. It must be a gift to that gentleman.
And from that moment, you've let bygones be bygones.
Definitely. What would you say? Because it's most of our world is not even about what's happening downstairs. It's the fact that it's President Muhammad Buhari actually remembered how it all started. How we came together, so united as a family, to fight and defeat the incumbent.
Sokoto from the Congress of Young People.
And that would become a big joy to it. In fact, to quote Aswaju said, Mr. President, you have lowered the temperature of the party. And I think that was highly commendable. And towards that so it was inconsequential, whatever is going on in Imo State. The fact that I understand now that the world understand that Rochas was a key player in the formation of this party at the time when where I come from detested the name Buhari or detested the name APC and gave me Okorocha and all kinds of names, and I was rejected literally. But with God's help, I won my elections. Buhari was the bad news for me in Imo State. So I won my presidency, my governorship in spite of Buhari. And so, just unlike those in the north, they won their governorship because of Buhari. So it was the first was the case. And I wondered if I've gone through all this and I insisted Buhari must be the president. Put Buhari. And some place my doors were not open for me. I insisted. Now, at the end of it all, and I've gone through all this what I went through. But one day I woke up, just a few days to the convention, and President Buhari calls me and said, hey, come, let's have a dinner. My governor. When he said that, and it was like, oh, what is that? So whoever is doing things, that's like coming to the house I've built. That's a feeling. And I can't watch the house I've built crumble, no matter the pains and the anger. And I'm happy with that. And let's forge ahead to make sure we accommodate more people.
But your governor has since reached out. He was on this program that he said, he was even calling and saying that he wanted peace with you.
My friend, I have a very interesting governor. Very interesting. In fact, it is a certificate of expertise. I'm his brother only at night on Sunday politics, but in the morning, he'll go and take all my property, arrest me, and do all that.
But he said that was about law and procedures.
No. But it's okay. Whatever it is, I've let bygone be bygone. I forge ahead. You see, what you must know is that you don't keep malice if you want to grow. Part of quality to be a leader is to be able to chew nonsense and take nonsense and move ahead. So the case of Governor Hope is no longer an issue for me as far as I'm concerned. He's the governor, I recognize him. I had somebody contesting for the candidate he brought in. I said, step down, let him produce. Let peace reign. All I want is peace.
You've moved forward.
I've moved forward.
You've moved on, rather. He's behind you now. So you're ready to work with Governor Usonuma?
Even anybody worse than him I can work with now in APC. And I've been doing that actually. You see, I don't raise doors. All I do is that when the dust gets so cloudy, I try to make sure I cover myself from it entering the dust getting into my eyes. But that's not what I'm fighting back. I never fought back for one day. If I do fight back, you know I fought back.
But was it him that was, was it him fighting you? Or it was the issue, Ihedio's government that raised some of the issues that you had with government of Imo State?
No, Ihedioha was a much better candidate when it comes to fighting. It was much better than... I'm talking about Ihedioha set a panel, but he did nothing with the panel. But Uzodinma came, and of course you know that panel set by Emeka Ihedioha was a panel of people who I defeated, who were angry. And you came back and took over from there and actualized, and some of my property vandalized, and cars vandalized, my children beaten, my in-law arrested and kidnapped, and many things. So, but all these are gone. I wish him well. let's forge ahead. How many are we in the Igbo land? How many are we in the Southeast actually? That will keep every day. That's not good news for us. We have more challenges out there than this.
Let me, if I show you the list that was produced, and if you listen to those who are really aggrieved about the process of yesterday, they describe it as imposition and coronation.
Let me tell you. Listen, Shegun, can I be honest to you?
Please do.
It's a needless war. It's just a needless war. Let's forge ahead. If you stay here to count who is right, who is wrong, there are many wrongs which we needed Mr. President to really speak on, which they did. So as far as I'm concerned, I call on all those my party men and women who feel aggrieved, who feel it should not be the right way, to sheathe their sword. And let's move ahead, because the chance ahead is more. What is more important is, can this leadership now create a free and fair platform, environment for everybody to operate? That will help our party. Because listen, we have a bigger challenge ahead, the PDP. So what we should consider now is making sure that we get somebody who can win this election, who can organize support from across the whole country, be it for president, or especially for presidency. We need a very, very acceptable candidate. That if there's imposition, then that one is no longer within our party to decide. The whole Nigeria will decide, and that will not be good for us. So let us look for somebody, and let the party support or allow for free and fair election where the person generally accepted by all would emerge. That will help our party in no small way.
I mean, you said it earlier that there's going to be need for reconciliation and mending the fences. How soon could that be?
It has to be immediate, because we have less than 2 weeks to announce our programs for primaries. It has to be immediate. It will be just calling where it is strong. Mr. President can also wade in like he did before. There are very few issues in the party right now. There are people who have court judgments that has not been obeyed, and there are people who are cases are in court, and those who felt that they were not consulted. There are 3 categories. If you have a court judgment, so be it. Good. Obey the court judgment. We can't change anything from that. And for those of them whose matter in court, can you withdraw the matter and let's share the positions to all of you so that you can carry everybody along. You know, because the government will not do it alone, neither will the individuals do it alone. So we can learn from those states that have done their own very, very well and move ahead. So the point I'm making is that a lot of job is to be done, but it can be done in a day. Because the truth is there.
If you compare the way PDP did their own consensus arrangement and the way your party did yours, in terms of comparison, does your party really look well in the end?
You know,
the kind of acrimony that may have emerged, that is possibly to have emerged, in comparing notes.
You know what PDP just did was whatever we can do to unite at all costs, whether right or wrong, let's do it for as long as we can get off APC along the road. So they are the opposition party, remember? But this party of ours is sitting on the comfort of power. And so, but now we have woken up, definitely, especially by the role played by Mr. President a few days ago, has helped a whole lot. So what we are saying now is APC has gotten it right to some extent, but you know, cement areas that are not very acceptable to all. That will go a long way to helping the matter. But APC have their different style, PDP has their different style. PDP has also a big issue ahead of them, just like, because from what has happened now, you can tell that APC literally would have been said to have zoned this to the south by the happiness. Because to today, we don't have any single aspirant who have declared from the north, if you look at it, unless something happens tomorrow. And again, if you look at the one of PDP have people from the south and people from the north. So how are you going to do that? And they've set up a committee for zoning. What if the zoning doesn't go well with them? What happens? The party will be in pieces again, and APC will assume. So every party has its own challenge, but we seem to be in a better
how would you describe your party? Because you've used some words, Iberiberism. How would you describe? Do you have a terminology to describe the situation in your party, the crisis?
You know, the press has a way of taking is out of proportion. Like what happened yesterday when I said to them about, I said, Uncle Tinubu, they were asking me a question. I said, listen, I'm talking about the press now, you guys. You said, what do you think about Tinubu? It looks like you and Tinubu might be calling the shot from. I said, it looks like that. But if it is my Uncle Bola Tinubu, I might ask him to take a second look and see if you can just give way for me to control the nation moving forward. Now, the press changed it to say, I said, I don't mind accepting presidential and vice presidential ticket with Tinubu, and it's not possible to have South president and vice. So when I said Iberiberism, I was describing a situation, and excuse me. And I'm very glad to inform you that that has made the Oxford Dictionary. It's there in the dictionary now, and it's full Iberiberism, which is act of foolishness. And it was a style of speaking. If I say to you, Shegun, I think what you have done is an act of foolishness, you feel more hot than when I say it's an act of Iberiberism. And you know, but
quoting it to make it calling a fool without
making him feel bad.
All right. So you don't have a new word to describe what is going on in your party, because the PDP has a word to describe it. They made a mockery of your party. They said, they said to your party, up until now, they call it a sham, what you did yesterday. And in fact, they're saying that the leadership, at some point, you know, your national chairman was arrested by the EFCC. And they're raising, they're challenging the integrity of your party and members of your party on the issues of
are yet to wake up from your slumber or your sleep and your people get the point in your party that we are exiting Nigeria. Exiting Nigeria is not going to come from the platter of golden plate. You have to sacrifice for it. And we are ready to sacrifice everything, including you.
Anytime you see PDP clap for us,
if you come and stand in the way so you need to know how serious we are. We are damn serious. Some of you are not getting it. You think we are here to build political movement? We are here for freedom. Freedom comes with price. Okay? The only thing you can do is to comment on social media. Don't ever stand on the way of Biafra freedom. We'll crush you.
I started the PTB. Can I shock you? I started the PTB. I paid his first rent. I kept all the leaders of that party then in Sheraton Hotel, from Rimi to Somola of blessed memory. I know PDP in and out, and I know the thinking of PDP. This is just like a move out from PDP. Almost everybody that is in APC was once in PDP. Let me tell you the truth. So if I've moved out, it must have been for a reason. If this thing that we're crying in APC about injustice, if you see the injustice in PDP, that one is Korokoro injustice. You see it is stabbing you and say,
what can Korokoro injustice? That's another one. That's another word.
You want to hear more?
So Korokoro is of the kind of injustice that...
But it's well. So I think I'm happy with APC now, what's happening, honestly. And I must thank President Muhammad Buhari for showing this leadership. You know, because this is the party that he founded, and if this party is no longer doesn't die as he exists, then he must have made history, and it's worthy of commendation.
I think we should anchor this segment with you on the issue of your ambition and what happened with the meeting of the president and the founding members of the APC. Did the president muted the idea of where you wanted the presidential slots to be zoned?
You know, President Muhammad Buhari is a unique man. He would say nothing, and you can, not even the best of the psychologists can dictate his mindset. And that was missing a general.
So you were trying to decipher where his body language is.
Naturally, all of us would be anxious to know what would be his body movement, but it's zero to everybody. No, he wouldn't even show you any sign. But I think he knows what he wants to do, and he will do the right thing.
At least 3 of you in that meeting have ambitions.
Yes.
And you don't have a clue as to what the president wants.
No. But all you want to do is that, like being a political scientist, you're a political scientist, or you look at the scenario, the question that imagine that everybody in politics will have his shortcomings and this. For instance, if you're from power is zoned to the south, would the southwest have advantage over a southeast person if the reason for zoning was to take it to the south? That's another big question that we talk about. And would you say that if you are a Muslim, can you get a Muslim vice president, Muslim ticket, or can you get a Christian ticket? These are some of the counting. And you find out that even if you're from the South, will you really have advantage over the Southeast? There's small sentiments that goes on. But above all, these are secondary. Above all is that the North controls the majority of votes in this country. The question is, among all these aspirants, who would really garner support? Who can they not trust? Who can they believe in? Who can speak and not say, yes, we believe this man can do that because he has done that before? These are some of the criteria, and this will come to play as the time goes on.
We have just 30 seconds to go.
Yeah.
Because you spoke highly of the president tonight, it shows that you have a lot of respect for him.
Definitely.
Should it come down to the fact that if Amaechi sit on the table and Bola Tinubu sit on the table, and that kind of meeting you had with him, and you are asked to step down for any of them, would you?
I wonder what will be the president has to tell me why. Yeah, you have tell me and say, I think you put it, look, I've looked at it, Rochas, and I see that if you run, you are not marketable in the North. That is one. Number two, we don't think that the South will vote you. And taking you to the field to stand against PDP, we're not sure of winning. If I'm convinced that way, why not? But if he says to Bola Tinubu, Amaechi, or anybody, I say, look, I see that you can't win this election in the North. I've checked. Because President Buhari, I know, will not make a decision only by himself. In fact, the people will speak to him. He will look at the mood of the nation. He will look at the people's expectations. So he keys into the people's expectations. So it's not just a sole decision that is.
So between, yourself, Tinubu, and Amaechi,
but Amaechi has not declared. Has he declared?
But there are very strong words out there that he has intention. All of those federal cabinet members.
Only deal with those who have declared, as far as I'm concerned. So it's only myself, Tinubu, and Umai that have declared in APC. And we'll be talking about these three persons. We will not even mention Umai. Umai is a candidate.
So between the three of you,
yes.
Who do you think is best for APC?
Is there a comparison?
Yes.
Let the people say. Let them say.
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. Kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you and remain blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.